Hello everyone, welcome to KHA Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono webinar. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. So nice to see many of you from different countries and different time zones. Before we start our webinar, always thank Universe for giving us this great opportunity. And Dr. Sweta Singh, our KHA Chief Administrator, will start the session.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita, and it's my privilege to introduce KHA Homeopathy Study Group to all of you. KHA Homeopathy Study Group Pro Bono was organized and founded by homeopath and humanitarian Kavita Sankaran, President and CEO of Kavita Holistic Approach, KHA. This study group is intended to be an offering from Kavita to the homeopaths around the globe, sharing goodwill and solid clinical work. Within the classical model, our foundational principles for the KHA mission and vision are very unique: to inspire young homeopaths, mentor, provide excellence for educational purposes using holistic approaches via webinars, which are based on principles of classical homeopathy and provide professional continuing educational homeopathic credits for practitioners. We provide merit certificates for spreading the light of homeopathy around the globe. Dr. Kavita is a member of Kevin Friendly Foundation, a non-profit organization that helps to serve poor people in greater needs in India. She is the recipient of Martha Ullman Community Service Award by National Center for Homeopathy and Best Entrepreneur Award from Dr. N. Lingaraju, Principal of JSPS Homeopathic Medical College, Hyderabad, India. We are extremely happy and proud that we celebrated 10 years of her book, Beyond the Limits, our challenge to prove oneself. And in our last webinar, we happily celebrated 1 month of her second writer, her ebook, A Dose of Spirituality with Kavita. Dr. Kavita donated the proceedings of both the books through KHA Homeopathy Study Group platform to various charitable organizations and homeopathic associations. To name a few, Kevin Friendly Foundation, CHC, DHMA, JSPS College, VT Seva, NCH, etc. We will share the recording link in Zoom chat box, and interested ones can have the glimpse of the book. Purchase link will also be shared. As of now, we have over 250 plus recordings on professional webinars related to homeopathy, health related topics, and inspirational talks available on our channel, Kavita Sankaran. This webinar is moderated by KHA family, myself, Dr. Sweta Singh, KHA Chief Administrator. It is being recorded as we speak, and we are live on Facebook. We will take questions at the end of the webinar, and we will post jot form in Zoom webinar chat at the end of the webinar. Please fill the form to receive your certificate. If you're watching live webinar, email us at khastudygroup@gmail.com. Kindly mute yourself and turn your videos off for better connection. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sweta. She manages our KHA activities with cute smile. I thank KHA Homeopathy Study Group entire team for their continuous selfless support with which we are able to make our pro bono activities and webinars so beautiful. These webinars are for educational purpose only and should not misuse any of the course content without the speaker's permission. Always seek an expert homeopath for treatment. Being an outreach coordinator of CHC PR committee and HNA CPD provider encourages homeopaths to become CHC certified and participate in HNA accredited CU webinars. Quick announcement. National Center for Homeopathy is organizing 17th annual JHC 2022 with a hybrid and virtual. So early bird is until March 18th. And I thoroughly enjoyed being at JHC for past several years as a participant speaker and also honored with awards. So to register and for more information, visit jhc.info. And we are glad to offer $25 Amazon gift voucher to JHC Scavenger Hunt winner. So look forward to claim this opportunity. And another one is Repertory Summit. On March 26 to 27, 2022, 8 great masters, including Dr. Rajan Sankaran, will be sharing their knowledge, and so much is there, so which we will also discuss at the end of the webinar. And another one is Homeo Summit officially starts on Monday, March 20th to April 1st, 2022. Free 5-day virtual homeopathic event is there. So world-renowned experts are there. Do not miss all these summits. Today, March 6th, we have two honorable speakers, Dr. Rajan Sankaran, who speaks about Raga therapy and homeopathy, and Dr. Gaurang Gaikwad about homeopathic strategies on long COVID and post-COVID. In the past, we did many webinars on COVID with Dr. Divya Chabra to name few, Massimo, Dr. Jawhar Shah with HNA credits, and many more. Today, we will learn little more about COVID from Dr. Gaurang. Dr. Sankaran is a world-renowned experienced homeopath, our first speaker. No introduction is needed to a great teacher, mentor like Dr. Sankaran. He was inspired and nurtured by his father, Dr. P. Sankaran. Dr. Rajan graduated as a gold medalist from the Bombay Homeopathic Medical College, which is now known as SMT CMP Homeopathic Medical College. He is an alumnus of Aurangabad University, where he completed his master's. He was the associate professor in the Department of Repertory in SMT CMP Homeopathic Medical College, Mumbai, and it was attached to his hospital as honorary physician. He is the head of the Other Song, International Academy of Advanced Homeopathy. He has authored several books and gave tons of seminars worldwide. He was there last year at our KHA webinar and again today to bless us with gift, Raga Therapy to everyone. It is a free app I just downloaded and experienced the positive vibrations. It is awesome and everyone will enjoy. Thank you so much for this great gift to society. To name few Tilang music, barbaric music, there is so much and we will learn today at our session. And let us welcome our first speaker, Dr. Sankaran, to our webinar. Welcome, sir. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please start, sir.
Okay. Well, I have Shukrita here with me, so she will share the PowerPoints and she will speak also. So if you need to make her some kind of a co-host, please do the needful. Okay, good. So I can see that people can write on the chat box. So I welcome all of you to, comment, give your comments or write your experiences as I speak on the chat box, so it can be more interactive. First of all, see, Indian classical music is something that I have been deeply interested in for many years now, and also learned a little bit about it, learned some. And what is important and interesting is that Indian classical music is has many ragas or melodies, and each raga is a harmonic combination of the basic 7 notes of music. The way it is combined, the way it is sung is a melody or a raga. And given that there are probably, God knows, 2000 ragas or whatever there may be, but 50 or 100 of them are quite popular and are sung again and again. So at some point I started to think that can ragas be used as a healing agent? just like our remedies are used as a healing agent. And therefore, I started to research or experiment in this direction about 20-25 years ago. What I discovered is that each raga has a certain mood. It has a certain time of the day when it is sung. It has a certain weather or a season where it is sung. And it evokes certain specific emotions or experiences. And therefore, I thought, if we can find out which particular state or emotion or experience a raga can invoke in a person, then can we not use that raga to heal somebody else who has the same state? This is basically based on the homeopathic principle of like cures like. So if I can understand what a raga can produce, then I will know which patient with what state that raga can heal. That was my premise. So what I would do for you, rather than talk and talk like that, is to kind of let you experience one raga. And what I would love you to do is to close your eyes, listen to the raga, not only through your ears, but through your whole being. Not listen to it from your head or your intellect or your logic or reasoning or understanding, but rather without all of this, without any thinking. And what do you have to do when you listen is to just become aware of your emotion, your experience at different levels. You may have an emotion, you may have an imagination or a perception of a situation, you may have a sensation in the body, any kind of sensation in the head, chest, abdomen, hands and feet. Or you could have a kind of an energetic pattern of sound or light or direction or heat or cold or vibration that you may experience. So as you listen to my singing, just try to close your eyes and just become aware of the experience, what's going on inside you at all of these levels: emotions, imaginations, sensations, and energy. And then when you do that, you can write it in the chat box. What was your experience? In short, very short. Let's do that. And then, I think an experience is worth 1,000 words. So are you ready? Are you relaxed? And your eyes closed? Let's begin. सखिए आली पिया बिन सखिए आली पिया बिन सखिए आली पिया बिन सखी कलन परत मोगे घड़ी पल छीण दिन एरी आली पिया बिन सखी एरी आली पिया बिन सखिएरी आली पिया बिन पिया बिन पिया रे पिया पिया सखिएरी आली पिया बिन सखिएरी आली पिया बिन जब से पिया परदेस गवन कीनो आ जब से पिया परदेस गवन की नोरतियाँ कटत मोहे तारे गिन गिन एरी आली पिया बिन सखी एरी आली पिया बिन एरी आली पिया बिन एरी आली पिया बिन पिया बिन एरी आली पिया बिन पिया बिन पिया बिन पिया बिन पिया बिन पिया रे पिया पिया सखिएरी आली पिया बिन निरे गरे सा निरे गम पम गरे गरे सा निरे गम पम बरे पम रे ग निरे निक निरे सा आ आ सखिएरी आली पी एरी आली पिया बिन कलन परत मोरे घड़ी पल छिन दिन एरी आली पिया बिन कलन परत मोरे घड़ी पल छिन दिन एरी आली पी एरी आली पी एरी आली पिया बी So I would love to hear your experience. What did you experience inside? What was the experience for you? Don't worry about which rag it was or what it was. Don't think. Did you? Yes, somebody wrote longing. Yes, very nice. Yes. Relaxation. Yes. Void. Yes, very nice. Yes. What emotions? What did you feel? What images came to your mind? Think. Depressed. Yes. What was the experience behind depression and void and longing? Sad. Yes. What was the feeling behind it? How did the sadness feel? How did the depression feel? How did the longing feel? Alone, yes. Somebody wrote, I feel alone. So there are two types of emotion. Yes, there's somebody who wrote, I need somebody. Yes, I need somebody. Yes. It's a void. It is alone. It is a longing. It is a need for somebody. Yes. In longing. Yes. Waiting for something I want. A void and longing. Yes. So this theme of uh, Yaman, this Rag Yaman, longing for the closeness of a loved one. Yes. So this is exactly what wherever I sang Yaman or where Yaman was heard. Of course, there was also relaxation and pleasure, etc. But this waiting, this longing, this void, this needing somebody, this wanting some closeness, you see, of a loved one. This is what came in Yaman Rag. I have done Yaman Rag proving in all the continents of the world, in Africa, in America, in Australia, in every place you can imagine, Europe, India, and it doesn't matter to which audience, whether it is a European audience or an American audience or African who know nothing about Indian music. Wherever I sang this rag, if people just allowed themselves to experience it, this feeling of longing, this void, this needing of the closed one, the loved one, this emptiness, this sadness, this missing always came out. So quite amazing how it was so specific. This, yes, natrum mure. No, it is not natrum mure. It is natrum carb. You see, here there is not the feeling of disappointment like natrum mure. No, it is a feeling of longing, wanting, missing, void, emptiness. Not kali carb, natrum carb. It is not the missing of a family or a group. It's the missing of the loved one, of the partner, of the one that gives you affection and care and nourishment, not the one who necessarily gives you support or money or house or finance. You see, yes, natram carb. Yes. So this is Yaman Rag, and I started using Yaman Rag in patients who I gave natram carb, and I found good results with it. So this is how my journey started. Yes, natram carb. Yes, longing, empty feeling. And so then I thought, if this is the homeopathic application of ragas, why don't I do provings of other ragas? See? And so over the last 20 years, we did 2 or 3 attempts to prove ragas. And finally, because of the COVID situation, where everybody was almost trapped in his own house, nowhere to go and nothing to do. I thought that's a great opportunity to do provings of ragas. So every evening for 25 days, I sang one different raga every day consecutively for the same group of people of about 20 people, 15 to 20 people from around the world. And most of them had no idea about Indian classical music, most of them. And then we would collate all their experiences, and we created a kind of a materia medica of uh, ragas. Each raga, what effect it produces at all levels, emotional, perceptual, that means imagination, what sceneries come to mind. And then we did what is the sensation experience, and then what is the energy pattern. So we divided the information into all of these categories, and we created a kind of materia medica sort of thing of 25 or 26 ragas. And I thought, how can we use this, in practice, how to do it? So it would be important for people to identify which raga they will need, you see. So it was based on this that we created the Raga Therapy app. And I'm going to let Shukrita introduce you to this app and tell you a little bit more, and then I will come back again and we'll speak more about it.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan. I would like to tell a little more about the Raga Therapy app and a little more about the philosophy behind this app. So if we go back a little bit, the idea of using music for healing is not new. So the healing effects of music have been widely recognized, and music therapy is now quite well known. Indian classical music has emerged and gained significant repute to produce deep healing effects. But the question was, how do we define who will be healed by which? How do we find this out? So in Indian classical music, we have ragas, which are the melodies, and each raga is a harmonic combination or pattern of specific notes in the major and minor scale. Each raga is played or sung in a particular way with emphasis on certain keynotes. Each raga is denoted to have a specific time, a specific season, and a specific mood. So, Dr. Rajan thought that, basically he tried to collate this information and try to see how we could relate it with homeopathy. So homeopathy is based, as you all are aware, on the law of similars, which states that like cures like. So applied to music, this would mean that a raga that brings about a certain state is capable of healing someone with that similar state. So very careful research has gone in, like Dr. Sankaran was saying, where he sang ragas to the provers. A lot of provings happened, which brought about amazing, amazing results at all the levels. And basically, the Raga Therapy Music app was collated. And so Dr. Sankaran would sing a different raga each day to a group of 35 listeners who would carefully document the effects of each raga on their emotions, their mood, on their imagination, on their experience, both physically and mentally. So from all this information that was gathered about the effect of each raga on these listeners, we created an algorithm. And the Raga Therapy app is based on such an algorithm. And thereby meaning that when someone describes his or her current feeling or experience in his or her life according to certain options given, then the logic that is inbuilt in the app will choose and suggest two specific ragas that most closely resembles the inner state of the person. So there's something very interesting here that I'd like to talk about is that, in the past, it is said that once there's a Mughal Emperor Akbar he was very exhausted and he was in a state of despair, depression. He had so many responsibilities and it was all weighing down on him somehow. So he asked the composer Tansen to create a raga to alleviate these feelings. Instinctively, Tansen created Raga Darbari, which relieved the king. Now, the question is, how did this happen? So we have noted that how Raga Darbari relieved the emperor. When the raga was sung to a group of 35 people by Dr. Sankaran, it evoked the feelings of deep despair and desperation, which one could imagine would be somewhat similar to what the Emperor Akbar might have been going through. We can suppose now that the Raga Darbari relieved Akbar because it matched the depth and the despair of the state he was already in. So this is very, very interesting.
So if I may interrupt for a moment, let
Yes.
us give them a little taste of Rag Darbari and see
Sure.
if you can experience
Yes.
that depth of despair that probably Akbar experienced at that time. Please listen the raga and write your experiences on the chat box. Dhana, Mavada nini sani lani ba ma ba ga ma re sa da ni re sa Could you notice a difference between Raga Yaman, its effect, and Raga Darbari that I just sang? Please put your comments on the chat box. And Shukrita, you may please continue.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sankaran. So after this, what is very interesting to note to take this journey of further is to see that from this study and experience from the provers and doing the provings day in and day out with the same 35 people, Dr. Rajan concluded that ragas are not created by man, but they exist in the universe as distinct energy patterns. When we tune into and plug into that raga, the raga permeates through your entire being and can change your present disease state into a state of ease or a state of inner calm in some way. So the specific effect of each raga is universal. Dr. Sankaran sang various ragas to people from different countries, and found that each raga elicited the similar response, despite differences in nationality, culture, or even familiarity with the music. There were many people on a group who didn't know Indian classical music, and that was very interesting. So it was the first time they were even listening to a raga. So that's what happened. And each raga seems to have a specific innate pattern and can help heal those with that similar pattern. The beauty of application of ragas for healing is that not just homeopaths, but any kind of a healer or any individual can use these ragas for healing their patients or themselves. So this includes even those who do not know music and who do not know homeopathy as well. So, as long as they can match the energy pattern or the state of a person with the energy pattern of the raga, they can use raga as a healing tool. And that is what exactly the Raga Therapy app does. I'd like to share a little PPT here. Uh,
Tana dire na, tana na 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 na, tana dire na, tana na 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 na, tana dire na, tana na 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 na, tana dire na, tana na tana na, tana na na dire na. Dire na dire na tana tana na na dire na tana dire na tana na 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 tana dire na dire na 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 dire na na dire re 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 na na de na na dire na na di re na 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 ta na dire na dire na na de na na dire na na re re dire na 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 dire re 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 na 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 dire na re na 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 ta na dire na dire re re dire na dire re 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 dire re 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 dire re 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 dire re 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 dire a re 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 na 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 de re na re na 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 ta na de re na de te re na de re na na de re 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 na 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 de re 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 na de re 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 na 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 de re na re na re na 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 ta na de re na sa re ga re ga ma ga ma pa ma pa da pa da ni da ni sa re da ni da pa da pa da ma ga ma ga re sa re re ta na di re na ta na 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 So, Shukrita, could you take them through the steps of how one uses the Raga Therapy app?
Yes, yeah, sure, sure. So when you download the Raga Therapy app on your Android or iPhones, this is how it will appear on your screen.
Yeah, so incidentally, Tejaswini has written that the effect of Darbari Rag seemed to have like the aurum metallicum. And that is
Mm.
exactly the remedy, the gold or the king when we talk about Emperor Akbar. So if we connect, you see, ragas to remedies, we already described Netram Kab and Yaman Rag. Darbari would relate to Aurum. It's absolutely correct. And yes. But we can think deeper than that in terms of even without a remedy, can a person heal with just the raga? And I think it is possible. And that I would imagine is the next frontier of medicine, where it goes from material medicine to energetic medicine. And I can't imagine anything more beautiful that is energetic than music. So I really look at ragas as the future of therapy also in some sense. And I think that we should not only look for it as a addition, as an add-on to treatment, which it can do beautifully, but also as a standalone kind of treatment. And we have to do experiments in terms of its effectiveness, even in psychological and physical problems. And I am really looking forward to doing that kind of research also. Yes, Shukri.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Shankaran. Um, so when you download the Raga Therapy app, you can create your account for free, and it is available on Google Play Store and Apple Store as well. So you can, after you create your app, you will get this page where you can find your raga. So that's what we're going to do first. You can click here, and the first screen that you get is what emotions are you feeling? So these are the range of emotions that we have collated after the provings. And basically, the more specific you are about the emotions that you're feeling, the result that will come through the AI of the app will be more clear and more precise for you. So instead of maybe choosing multiple emotions, if you can zero in on one or two emotions, it would be good. And you can click on them here. And then you can go to the next slide, which which asks you, what sensations are you feeling? So it could be tight, under pressure, no support, you're feeling numb, stuck, blocked. Many of these options also have sub options to make to elicit a more precise response from you. So you could choose your options according to what you're feeling. And then what emotions do you desire will be the next page, which will come up. So here I have chosen excitement. You can choose happy, relax, comfort, liberating, any of them. And then what sensations do you desire? Being weightless and movement, I have selected. So depending on how you're feeling. And then the app, the inbuilt
Well,
logic, the app.
if you allow me, you see, if you go
Yes,
to the previous slide, and
yes,
the thing is that when you choose, for example, what sensations you desire, and you click on movement, it will give you options, what type of movement. So it
yes.
goes further than that. It's just not one choice, but when you click on that choice, it gives you, sub choices, which you will have to click and be even more specific. That's, yeah, I wanted to just add that. Okay.
Yes, so this the sub choices, like I said, is there in each of these slides. Even in the first slide itself, what emotions you're feeling. If you click on any of them, you will get the sub choices as well. So that will really, really help to zero in on exactly how you're feeling. And then the raga that's suggested for you does come up, two ragas come up. So one of the things is also that to give yourself this 15 or 20-minute time to listen to the raga without any distraction, preferably with headphones on, and it will really help. So Dr. Shankaran will render the raga, and then there'll be a feedback form where you can let us know how you're feeling. So if you do download this, you can please write to us at raga@shankaransclinic.com with your questions or with your comments. And it'll really help us to even improve on the app, because we are continuously improving and we're trying to, improve it, update it, so that it really helps more and more people. The whole aim of this exercise is to really help the maximum number of people we can with music. And and also I would just like to share a small, we took this a little further. So, people said that what if the effect of the raga is because of Dr. Shankaran singing and not because of the raga itself? So somebody kind of questioned us about that. So what we did is we got a male singer, a professional female singer. We got a sitar player and a flutist who rendered the raga for the same group of provers whom Dr. Shankaran had sang to before. Now, the interesting thing about the study is that the provers did not know which raga it was being rendered. Like it was random. So today I would just play sitar of Jai Jaivanti, and the next day I would play like a Yaman by a male singer. So they had no idea which raga was going to come up. They had no idea whether it's going to be a vocal artist or it's going to be the sitar or the flute playing. So we did it absolutely randomized. It was completely and this is what came up. What was very interesting is that 80% 80% of the experiences and the imagination, the emotions, what the people went through was similar to what they felt when Dr. Shankaran rendered the raga. So that's how we took this research forward. And I would just like to share a small slide to just show you this fact. Yeah, just one moment. Yes, so this we did for Raga Jai Jaivanti, and this is how we collated the information. So you can see here are the, the words that came up also after we collated all the imagination sensation by Dr. Rajan, then the sitar player, the female artist, the male artist, and the flute player. So we did all this for each and every raga. And we kind of put it in and did a statistical sort of study, and it came up that there are certain words that came up, like for example in Jai Jaivanti was the feeling of immobility, of peace, of loss of a loved one, calm, acceptance, sadness, loneliness. This was very, very apparent. So this is how we sort of did it for each and every raga. So there's a lot of research that's gone into this. It is very scientifically almost based, because it's not something that we just guessed, and that's what we realized, that it is very, very clear that it is not a specific person singing the raga, but the raga itself. And it's interesting that the raga also, we realized, Dr. Shankaran realized, that it should be sung in Madhya Laya. For those who know classical music, it's not too fast and it is not too slow, which has a sort of meditative effect, or not too fast, which causes sort of like excitement or things. So it is sung in Madhya Laya, and that has, and when you sing in Madhya Laya, the raga, the essence of the raga is most clearly pronounced. So just a little technical details about how we did it, and it was a very interesting experience to be listening to the experiences of the provers day in and day out, and to see how the effects of the raga came up. So if you please, I would really urge all of you to please download the Raga Therapy app and to let us know your experiences, or if you have any difficulties, please do email us at raga@shankaransclinic.com. Thank you.
So, thank you, Shukrita. Thank you for that. I want to add to that one cannot guess the effect of the raga by any means except by proving it. For example, Rag Puriya, I believe, when we did a proving, what came out was a snake energy, wasn't it? Wasn't it Puriya? It was the
Yes,
black mamba. It was
yes,
the
the
black.
black mamba came up in Puria and very pronounced, very, very pronounced, trapped sort of experience. Yes, there was the black mamba.
I mean, uniformly in almost most provers, what came up was the black mamba. I was very surprised. I couldn't imagine that a raga could just bring a snake to the surface. I mean, it was amazing. And uniformly, in every rendering we found it. So one cannot, like, a remedy, one cannot guess from, looking at it. When you look at a sunflower, you cannot say what state it is going to produce except by approving. Similarly, a raga also. So at this point, Acha, you want to share email ID? You can share
Yes.
Sankaran's link, I think. If you have any
Yeah.
questions, you can share. I see that Dr. Vatsala is here with us. So if, Dr. Kavita, if you can please enable her to, come on the screen and speak a few words, because she has done a lot of, benefit to this Raga therapy. She has encouraged me a lot, did interviews, got it published in international magazines. And I would like her to share a few experiences with the therapy app or with the Raga. And she's also a very keen follower of music.
Yes, Dr. Vatsala, I did unmute you. Please join.
Hello, Dr. Sankaran. Namaskar. Sukrita. Hi. Dr. Kavita, thank you for bringing everybody together. Very interesting. The background is that I grew up with classical music from my mother, and she was a composer in her own way. And she knew Indian classical music, Carnatic music, everything about it. I didn't learn from her, but I heard it growing up. And I knew that she could calm us when we were out of sorts, when our nose was bent out of shape or something. She could calm us by singing. And that remained with me, that a music will have a certain effect. So as a homeopath, when I encountered Almighty Dr. Rajan Sankaran and his work on music, I said, okay, there is something going on here, which is worth our scientific inquiry that we are used to in homeopathy. So I have been talking with Sankaran about his work on music. A few years ago, I had met him in JAHC and done an interview. And then when he came up with this app, I was very curious to find out what is this about. So I talked to him in an interview and asked him various questions. What is the app supposed to do? And how can people access this? So the idea is, we know that Indian classical music has a healing power. And now Dr. Sankaran is bringing that possibility, that potential to all of us right onto our cell phone. You can take the app, you can download the app and listen to it and experience the effects. So I tried the app myself, and several ragas that I heard, they were marvelous in their effect of making you feel peaceful, or making you feel calm, or making you feel a bit more devotional, and so on. So I did talk with Dr. Sankaran and did an interview, very elaborate interview, and published it in several journals. So that's what Dr. Sankaran has mentioned. And Kavita has shared a link to the interview that I published. It's in the KHA announcement. So please do visit that and try the app. And remember, much of the world responds to music from their heart. not just from their intellect. Little babies respond to it, to the melody, the voice of their mother. Animals respond to it. And as our patients, people will also be able to respond to music and derive therapeutic effect. So it's up to us to tap this potential in service of our patients. And Dr. Sankaran has done the back-breaking work of proving all these ragas. It's up to us to carry it forward and carry the work forward. So Dr. Sankaran, thank you very much for doing this work. And I hope our homeopathy group will be with you in carrying this work forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was a really beautiful summary. And yes, all of you can use the app, recommend it to your patients, to your friends, because it can be used by anybody, not only by, homeopaths, etc. And do let us know. Shukrita has put the email ID you can respond to and give us your feedback. So I would like to end today's talk with some music, obviously, and sing you one last raga. And I would love to hear your experience of that raga also on the chat box. Saga sa Sagama Sagama Dama Gama Gasani Sada Disa नीके बीते जाते हैं दिन नीके बीते जाते हैं सुमिरन कर मन राम नाम दिन नीके बीते जाते हैं सुमिरन कर मन राम नाम दिन नीके बीते जाते हैं और विषय के तजो काम तेरे संग चले ना एक दाम जो देते हैं सो पाते हैं दिन नीके बीते जाते दना ना ना दना ना ना दना ना 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 दना ना दना ना 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 दना ना 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 दना ना दना दने ना de te re re na de na de te re 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 na na de na 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 de na हैं सुमिरन कर मन राम नाम दिननी के बीते जा नी के बीते जा नी के बीते जाते हैं।
Thank you so much, Dr. Shankaran. It was amazing. I just downloaded 1 or 2 days back, but I myself felt so happy. And today it's a gift to everyone where you're giving. That is very nice of you. And everyone has enjoyed. So Dr. Gaurang is also here, and with your permission, we will let him in. Is that okay?
Sure.
And we will take more questions at the end of the webinar.
So I'm not sure if I will be there at the end of the webinar. So if there are any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them in the next few minutes, but I doubt if there are any questions at all.
Everyone enjoyed it thoroughly. And Dr. Vatsala has described so well. It gives the full information, and the app is so easy. You enjoy with selecting our emotions, and we have shown that. So everyone will definitely enjoy. Please, if anyone has Dr. Sweta, will take the questions. One or two questions, if anyone has, please.
Will the Raga Therapy app be used as an auxiliary or sole treatment? You can definitely use it as an auxiliary mode. As a sole treatment, we are still have to experiment with it. So I cannot swear and say that it's going to be, a sole treatment, but definitely everyone can use it. What is the name of the app? It is Raga Therapy App, and it is a big R, capital R is the symbol of it. Yes. Is it only Hindustani or Carnatic? At the moment, only Hindustani, because that's the one I know. I don't know much of Carnatic music, so we did only the thing in Hindustani music. Yes. Will the effect last long? Well, that remains to be seen, isn't it? I do believe that if we fine tune it, we can have it as a long-term therapy. But again, this is subject to experimentation, experience, and research. So at this moment, it's just a tool that we have brought out, and it is helping a lot of people. To what extent, how long, and to what degree it will help, time will tell. And I would like feedback from all of you. That would be good. Yes, Carnatic Ragas is another whole story. I don't want to, go there because I'm not so familiar with it. I'm sure that every music has a therapeutic effect if it is similar to the music that is within the patient or the person. But my familiarity is more with ragas of Hindustani classical music. I think that's good for the moment. And
so much, Dr. Shankaran. And we would like to show our honor with the certificate for your gracious presence. Please kindly accept from our team.
Okay.
And we will bring Dr. Shankaran again in our future webinars. And stay tuned. We are having Dr. Gaurang here with more.
Yeah, Gaurang is a remarkable, very, what can I say, passionate and dynamic, my God, homeopath. And he's acting as an inspiration for a lot of young homeopaths who want to emulate his work, his dynamism, and really I have been with him for quite a long time now, and I really appreciate the person he is and the amount of uh, enthusiasm and encouragement that he brings to at least the younger generation of homeopaths, and that's very good. So, Gaurang, keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Whatever I am is because of you. So, thank you.
I was about to tell the same things today about Dr. Gaurang. All right.
Gaurang, if you don't mind, you can begin with some singing as well.
I hope they want to listen to the lecture. Everyone will run away.
All right. So our second honorable speaker, Dr. Gaurang, is here. Dr. Gaurang is a young, dynamic homeopathic practitioner and an internationally acclaimed teacher. He is accomplished and one of the most popular teachers across India, and the youngest homeopath to be invited to Europe to teach classical homeopathy and repertory. Dr. Gaurang's approach is a blend of classical approach and advanced kingdom approach. He considers Dr. Rajan Sankaran to be a huge inspiration and mentor. He has worked very closely with Dr. Sankaran on his world-renowned books, including Synergy in Homeopathy, Synergy Synopsis, and From Similar to Synergy and the Art of Follow. His passion for teaching has led him to various parts of the world through his YouTube channel Homeopathic Hub, imparting and sharing his knowledge and experiences. He is actively involved in doing research work on thyroid disorders, PCOD, and autoimmune disorders. Recently, he was given late Dr. Mahendra Singh Memorial National Award for Best Teacher in Homeopathic Field 2020 by Dr. Mahendra Singh Memorial Trust and Homeopathic Science, Congress Society India. His upcoming course, advanced course on classical homeopathy, 7 months, it's amazing. And we have more information which Dr. Gaurang will share. There is 25% discount for course and books. And his email ID also we will share. Let us welcome Dr. Gaurang to our webinar. Gaurang, it is all yours.
So first of all, thank you so much, Kavita and the entire team of KHA for inviting me. And it's a very interesting day today for me because I finished 11 years to my graduation. That is my studies in homeopathy. I finished in 2011. We finish 11 years today. And after I finished my graduation, in fact, in between of my graduation, I left my college and I went to Kolkata. I stayed there for about 7 months. I learned from different people. I stayed with Dr. Sarkar, Dr. L.M. Khan, Dr. Subhas Singh. And then I came back. And then that is when my journey with Dr. Sankaran started. I started working with him in the other song. And I used to write notes for him that time, which later on came up to be the book Synergy in Homeopathy. So it's interesting that exactly 11 years back, I used to just type notes for him. And in 11 years, I'm able to, thanks to him, thanks to the mentoring done by him, the apprenticeship worked, and I'm here sharing the stage with him. So it's a special day. Thank you so much, sir. So what my talk today is going to be about is So my talk is going to be today about strategies in post-COVID and long COVID. So I want to talk to you guys about what is the particular kind of strategies that we could possibly use in post-COVID and long COVID. And in the last year and a half, we've been trying to collate some symptoms and a certain group of remedies. And herein, what we try to prepare, and although I want to tell you this is still work in progress, we try to prepare a kind of a post-COVID or post-vaccination kind of clinical hints repertory, where what we've been trying to treat are cases in India, in Europe, in the US, in Brazil, different parts of the world, where wherever the post-COVID symptoms or even post-vaccination symptoms remain, what were the top remedies which were coming up in different clinical spheres. So I'm going to just browse you through this clinical hints repertory, and then we'll go to some cases, because I know that we are a little short in time. You can see here, maybe if you can see on the screen, I'll try to increase the font size. Yeah. So you can see here what tried to prepare is a kind of a symptomatology and the main clinical remedies that we have used. Like you can see here, weakness remaining after COVID, and there are different remedies here. You can see many acids here. You can see many cadmium salts here. You can see many carbon remedies here. You can see nosodes here. Loss of smell or anosmia remaining. Again, you see different group of remedies. You see many muriaticums. You see magnesium mure. You see ammonium mure, and so on. A lot of cases had neuralgias after COVID. Again, your group of remedies, different group of remedies. One of the main remedies we used was verbascum. So in this way, we tried to prepare different kind of formulations and what we are seeing majorly. For example, many of the patients in Europe that we saw after COVID, they just couldn't focus too much on their work. There was a lot of nervousness. One of the remedies was scutularia for this kind of sphere. Very interesting remedy here. Hale has written about it. Burnett has written about it. Many patients after COVID had a lot of hemorrhoids with very bad constipation. So we made a clinical kind of thing here. One of the remedies that came up was hydrastis. Very interesting. Female menstrual disorder, many cases post-COVID. For example, I remember this very beautiful case. Post-COVID developed amenorrhea. Menses stopped totally for many months. We analyzed the case. We absolutely had to individualize the case. The remedy came out to be folliculinum. Very interesting. So what one could see was these kind of remedies which came up more often than not, and that's where we try to prepare this kind of a clinical sphere. Let me show you some more very interesting. Many patients in the West also had the symptoms. A lot of hair fall after COVID. Here, one of the top remedies we used was thallium metallicum. Pituitary gland also. In some cases, mancinella. So this is still a little work in progress, but I just wanted to give you a little idea into this. A lot of patients had a lot of sudden high blood pressure after COVID for a very long time. Many remedies are here. You can see the aurum salts, baryta salt. One of the remedies we majorly used was Spartium scoparium and Strophanthus. Again, with indications. You want to differentiate them. And so on. So I just wanted to give you a little idea about this so that it's interesting for you to also see that in your kind of clinical practice. So let's come back and maybe I can show you some cases of post-COVID and long COVID, and we'll share some interesting kind of experiences together. But before I start, Dr. Kavita, how much time do you think I have? About 40 minutes till 10:30? Okay. Okay, So let's start with one of the first cases. And what I'll try to do is I'll try to tell you the case. And towards the end of the case, I'll try to take some of your ideas about what would you think is the possible remedy or remedies. And we'll have a short discussion. So this is a very interesting case. This is a case of autoimmune hepatitis in a man, about 63-year-old man, who had a double vaccination, and after that also at some point possibly had this kind of symptomatology, where his main symptoms was after the vaccination, suddenly he developed a lot of lethargy, he developed a lot of weakness, he lost his appetite totally. And he did some investigations. He came to know that his bilirubin was very high. It was 11.6. His SGOT, SGPT level went very high, close to 800. His alkaline phosphatase level was very high. They did a lot of autoimmune factors that also remained very high. So this guy, our patient here, is actually an allopathic doctor. So he himself went, he took a lot of steroids, he took omnocortil, he took prednisolone, a lot of things like that. He's a known case of hypertension and diabetes mellitus. With he's been on Janumet, telmisartan, Nebicard, all these kind of medicine, but nothing is working. He's extremely weak, extremely exhausted. His urine was highly colored, dark colored, and his SGOT, SGPT level went above 600. And that's when he connected to us that, I'm taking all this, but it's not working. I'm putting on a lot of weight. I'm taking a lot of steroids. There is a lot of weakness, a lot of exhaustion. I said, okay, can you tell me a little bit more about your symptomatology? So what he says is that this exhaustion is so much, I am not able to do anything because I just can't get up from my bed. As soon as I get up from my bed, I feel so exhausted. I feel I'll just fall down. So at this moment, I want to tell you, in autoimmune diseases, many of them which had a past history of either COVID or vaccinations, you want to also look at, somehow you also want to look at the psychosomatic factor. What happened in the last few months? What was the main stress levels? Somehow, this is one of the main things I do in autoimmune cases. I just go 6 months, 1 year back, and I look at what were the areas of main stresses for them. And as we know, we try to go in deeper level and try to understand the experiences. So let's see, I try to ask him, can you tell me a little bit what happened? What happened that probably you remained very stressed? So he says that, doctor, in the last 2 years, there was a lot of stress. So you want to know more about this? He says that, I was the chairman of a society, and I found that there were a lot of issues in the society. Two people were fighting, there were financial issues. And every day at night, I would get calls that, this person is doing this. Another day I would get another calls that this another person is doing this. And I was, I was in between like a sandwich. And I will try to keep everyone calm that, oh, don't fight. Arey Baba, don't fight, don't fight. Arey, no, it's okay. Arey Baba, shant ho jao, don't fight. Don't. So my entire energy for the last 1.5 years, it was so hopeless. I had lost entire hope. And constantly I'm trying to just, you keep quiet, don't fight. I was just trying to pacify everyone. I went out of the way to constantly go there, calm people down, to make sure that they don't fight. But I just didn't have the energy. My mind stopped working. I was totally exhausted. I think somehow this probably played a very important role. After some point, I just gave up. I felt, jane do, whatever it is there, just forget it. This is what happened to me, he says. I said, tell more about this. What did you feel? He said that I just gave up hope because I just constantly struggled of these people fighting and so much of fighting. I just gave up. What to do? So, you see this in the entire case, I get this kind of very important area of how these problems started. This is very important for us. You want to understand more about this. So can you tell me a little bit about your basic nature? How would you describe? Doctor, I'm a very, very friendly guy. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I like mixing up with people. I'm the kind of person you would meet anyone on the street. A very simple guy, but I love kind of making friends. I'm never an enemy to anyone, he says. So what I've done, because there are quite a few cases, and I wanted to show you many cases, I've kind of clubbed the cases. I've summarized the cases in short so that I can share many, many things with you. Are you all with me? Can someone write on the webinar chat that you are all there so that I know that you are awake and not gone to sleep? Okay, some of them are there. No problem. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead. We try to understand more. Tell me anything else about your stressful situation, any other area that probably affected you a lot. He says that, doctor, probably this is also the situation with me at home. My wife is not well, and she's not fine mentally, and I think I always go out of the way to take care of her. And I will take her to different doctors. I would just, I'm just drained out of taking care of her, doctor. I think I'm just going out of the way to constantly nurse for her, take care of her. I think that's my problem. No, okay. And then he suddenly also says that, when I was in college, I felt like leaving the college suddenly in between um, because a lot of mental pressure. No, I thought whether I will be able to continue or no. So that was a lot of pressure on me. He says. He's generally a very compassionate person, because what I know, he refers a lot of cases to us in our homeopathic center. And he's the kind of person who patients like a lot, because the patient, whoever he sends as patient, they speak very highly about him, that this doctor, he took a lot of care of us, and he told us that you go to the homeopath for this condition. So that's what I know a little bit about him in general. Let's see any other information I have. um, in general, he has put on close to 10 to 15 kgs due to the steroids. He's very slow in reaction. There is not much of anxiety in him when I see. He's very drowsy, very sleepy. He likes spicy food, sour food, juicy things. He's generally now very hot, totally thirstless. Um, he sweats a lot. He sweats a lot. And he's not taken homeopathy so much. Maybe he took once in between for some urticaria he had. He has had calculi before. So this is the case in short. So now, what do we do in this case? So what I would like to know, and we have a few people watching right now here. In this particular case, what would be the possible remedy you would think, and with the reasons? Let's see. Let's take some thoughts. So I think Dr. Tejaswani writes acid force. Okay. All right. Let's take some more thoughts. Dr. Mamta also writes acid force kind of personality. All right. Rutuja writes aurum metallicum. Purnima writes selenium. Okay. Muhammad Muzamil writes China. Okay. Some more suggestions we have. Dr. Arun Ganti writes acid force. Mamta writes cocculus. Okay. Okay, no problem. So what do I do? And I want to share with you what I did, and so that we can kind of move forward on this. What's the main thing for me? His main thing is this entire feeling. What is the main feeling? Too much of struggle. No, what was the exciting factor? Too much of struggle. Constantly trying to, no, you don't fight. No, you don't fight. No. Like there is too much of struggle on both the side. It's totally challenging from all the sides. He's trying to keep everyone calm, and then he just gives up. So now my question is, this particular thing, that phenomena that you see, how do we understand that in homeopathy? How and where will you see that? What would be the rubric for this? Let's see. What rubric will you take, or what materia medica indication will you take? Let's see. So yes, so what you could do that. So there's a very beautiful indication for this, which I would like to show you. So the symptom for this is, you can see, apathetic from unequal struggling with adverse circumstances, mental and physical, obtuse or torpid with tendency to diarrhea and sweatiness. This is the main symptom actually of phosphoric acid. You can see apathetic, totally dull, from unequal struggling. So you see there is too much of struggling with adverse circumstance. Arey, no, you calm down. No, you. This went on for 2 years. This affected him. This is the main symptom of phosphoric acid, and this is the main thing I'm seeing in many cases that you want to keep in your mind. Yeah, and then once you get this, then it's not a very big deal to repertorize, and then you see a very clear repertorization for phosphoric acid. Typically, you can see the weakness, the desires, the despair, the in general mildness and affectionateness as well. So what I did, very interestingly, you would want to see this. So I gave phosphoric acid 30. I gave it 2 times a day for about 7 to 10 days. I said, you let me know at a daily level how you are. Why 30? In these type of cases, generally don't directly jump to high potencies. Generally, you start with a little gradual potency, 30, and you see that how it is in 30. This is one of the things that I did. With this, you could see there was a lot of change just within 10 days. The steroid doses reduced, the Visolon reduced, the weakness reduced. However, there was a lot of cloudiness remaining, and the lethargy remained for a very long time. The weakness remained for a very long time. The swelling in the body remained for a very long time. His SGOT, SGPT improved, but it came to a sudden standstill. What to do? So when you see this kind of situation, too much of steroids which is being pumped in, too much of putting on of weight, too much of dullness, too much of, you can say, blood sugar now increasing, too much of hypertension increasing. So in these type of cases, yes. So in these type of cases, what we are doing more often than not now is using sarcodes. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. The use of sarcodes, especially in post-COVID. This is something that we do a lot. So the remedy I gave him after this was cortisone. Cortisone 30. So this is a very interesting kind of phenomena. This is like a tautopathy, as many homeopaths in the yesteryear would do. Cortisone 30, I gave it almost 2 times a day for about 10 days. This basically removes the layer of all the steroids which is being given, all the dullness, all the lethargy, all can be reduced. The other remedy which comes very close, which also I would like you to remember in many cases that we are using actually, is the remedy insulinum. I didn't use it in this case, but generally insulinum. Remember insulinum 30. This is also a remedy we use in many cases where especially the blood sugar suddenly shoots up after COVID. This is a very beautiful remedy. What are the indications for this? There are many indications for this. And as you know, Dr. Sankaran's father, Dr. P. Sankaran, okay, he did an entire proving on it. I'll show you a little bit part of it. Okay. And he has done an entire proving of this. Have a look. I think Matani did proving of this. It's written in Dr. P. Sankaran's writing. Many approving symptoms are given here. Like a lot of vertigo on hunger, a lot of throat pain on swallowing liquids, a lot of calf pains, a lot of burning in the soles, a lot of drowsiness, and so on. There's a lot of symptoms here. One of the main things you will see with the remedy insulinum is a lot of recurrency of boils and infections. And the other thing that you might see in the remedy insulinum is a lot of emotional diarrhea, which means they have a lot of IBS-like symptoms. There's a very beautiful book to read about this from. It's called as S.C. Ghosh, Rare Nosodes. This is a very beautiful Rare Nosodes and Sarcodes. It's a very beautiful book by him. So basically, a lot of Bengali authors have written about this. So these are the two remedies I use more often. But in this case, I gave cortisone for a fairly long amount of time. And with the help of cortisone, there was a remarkable change. His energy levels, his weakness improved. His SGOT, SGPT level came down. His bilirubin level came down very beautifully. You can see SGOT, SGPT, which was jumping to 600. It came below 80. SGOT came to 50. Allopathic medicines were almost gradually stopped. And after that, also at some point, phosphoric acid was given back. So this is a very important thing about the Sarcodes. You want to give a remedy, whichever is the indicated remedy, then you may have to give for some time the Sarcode and then go back to the original remedy. So this is a phenomena that we often use. So this is an idea that I wanted to give to you that we do very often. Good. Are you all with me? Say yes. So I know that you all are still awake. So I can go ahead with the next case. Okay, let's go to another case. So I'm just giving you some clinical ideas, okay? And I'm going to go a little fast so that we can do 2 or 3 very short cases. And I like to know from you what you do. So this is a case of COVID. This is again a case I did in Europe. 55-year-old man. He had COVID and COVID kind of, it remained for a long time, his fever, etc. And then suddenly the fever gradually went away and he had taken many medicines, okay, in the fever. He had taken arsenic, bryonia, sulfur, phosphoric acid, streptococcin. But what happened is very interesting, which I want to show you. So after the fever, he developed a lot of headache and then suddenly he developed a lot of back pain, spinal pain. And suddenly he developed very dreadful shifting joint pain. So his joint pain would shift one day on the hand, one day on the feet, one day on the back, one day on the neck. He developed a lot of shifting joint pain. And the peculiarity about the shifting joint pain was that the shifting joint pain will feel better after walking, better after motion. And even terrible headaches he started getting. And typically, the typical headache that he developed was mainly soreness of the eye. The eye was so sore with the headache that even slightest motion, he will get so much of pain. Re Baba, he used to scream with that. And lot of weakness. He would lie down constantly. Lot of back pain. I told you, better by movement, better by walking, better by open air, aggravated by sitting. And desire for a lot of lemon tea. His feet would get very chilly and he want to be alone. He wouldn't want anyone close to him. very, very irritable, very, very sulky, doesn't want to talk to anyone, very nauseous. Eyes are extremely hurtful. Slightest, even moving the eyeball like this, lot of pain. And the lumbosacral region is extremely painful. This person doesn't want to give history. He says, just give me the medicine, doctor. And constantly shifting. Dekho, now this is the case. And he has taken Rustox, Dingari. Now what to do? All medicines are taken already. Now in this type of cases with very few symptoms. So what I'm trying to tell you is in post-COVID, long COVID, everything goes away and one group of symptom remains. And this is where this clinical repertory that we are developing, the post-COVID, long COVID repertory that we are trying to develop, the post-vaccination repertory that we are trying to develop, we have come up with group of remedies and how to use them. So now in this case, I want to know from all of you, what would you think? Let's have an interesting kind of discussion. Let's see. Muhammad Muzammil writes radium broom. Remember, radium bromatum always better by hot water. Radium bromatum always desire for cake. Radium bromatum always muscular soreness, no eye soreness. Mamta writes streptococcinum. Yes, throat after joint problem. You can think about a streptococcinum. There is pulsatilla. Pulsatilla is shifting joint pain, but already Mamta, pulsatilla is taken by the patient. Purnima writes nosodes, okay, stellaria, okay. China. Dr. Vijay writes, this is a beautiful remedy, Vijay. China is a very important remedy. Very often I have used, Dr. Vijay, I have used China sulf. And the main symptom is that sudden acute arthritis. Have a look at boric. See the third line, boric, materia medica, third line. Let's have a look. Let's see. Chininum sulf, boric, materia medica. Have a look at the third line written here. It's written in capital. This is the only remedy written in capital in entire boric, acute articular rheumatism. So after fever, when acute articular rheumatism remains, which is periodic, which has exact periodicity, remember China sulf. And after fever, after taking too many allopathic medicine, someone develops a renal failure. You can see symptoms of chronic interstitial nephritis. Think about Chininum sulf. If after fever, after COVID, someone develops a lot of bleeding, urination, hematuria, think about the remedy eucalyptus and ossimum canum in 6 potency. Okay, so in this way your mind has to work. Let's come back. Any other remedy you suggest? Let's see. I want more people to participate. Come on. I know it's 10:30 now, but I want more people to participate and tell me what remedies would you think and why. Okay, Manisha Chopra writes mercury. All right, interesting. Manisha, mercury has a very peculiar symptom that I'm seeing. A lot of salivation, a lot of cold, coryza, but even in the coryza, they want to drink cold water, like phosphorus, but it has salivation. So in the cold and cough, they want to drink cold water. Think about mercury. Okay. Neha Dubey writes calmia. Remember, calmia will have neuralgic pain. It will have the numbness going from the arm right till the fingers. And the other thing, and Neha, this is a very good suggestion, calmia, because all the remedies from Ericaceae family, that is calmia, that is ledum, all these remedies have shifting pain. Rhododendron have shifting pains. Interesting remedy. Calmia, one keynote I will tell you, just for you to remember. Calmia always low pulse. The pulse rate is very low. If the pulse rate is not low, don't give calmia. Read Allen's keynote, probably 5th or 6th line. Abrotanum. The main symptom of abrotanum is metastasis, which means the abrotanum patient, and this is a favorite remedy of my mentor, Dr. Shorka from Kolkata. He would use abrotanum so much in his practice. The main symptom of abrotanum, 2 symptoms I want you to remember for post-COVID. Number 1, a lot of weakness after COVID. Abrotanum is a very important remedy. Number 2, metastasis, which means systems are changing. One day they will say, doctor, I have headache. Next day they will say, I have joint pain. Next day they will say, I have got diarrhea. 4th day they will say, I have got nail infection. 5th day they will say this. So what is happening is suddenly the systems are changing. One day respiratory system, one day gastric system, one day hepatic system, one day musculoskeletal system, one third day ophthalmic system. So when the system changes again and again, Mamta, that is the indication of Abrotan. I hope you got an idea. Read Kent. In Kent lectures of Materia Medica, read Pulsatilla, the remedy. Kent has beautifully differentiated how to differentiate Pulsatilla and Abrotan. Okay? Duha Mehboob. If a patient develops lupus after vaccination COVID, we cannot know which remedy you advise us. Okay. You will have to you would again want to individualize and not only prescribe on the diagnosis, because lupus is autoimmune. You want to prescribe more individual remedy. Any other suggestions about this remedy? Come on, I want more participation, more people. Aconite or belladonna. Kirtana, aconite and belladonna will only help you in the first 48 to 72 hours. After that, it may not be so useful. It does not have that affinity. Shweta Sriyan writes Laccananum. Shweta, I will tell you today the main symptom of Laccananum. I want you to remember forever. The symptom of Laccananum is not shifting pains. The symptom of Laccananum is it starts from the left side, it goes to the right side, and then comes back on the left side. If it doesn't shift and come back there, it cannot be Laccananum. So this has to be there, remember. Eupatorium. Yes, Eupatorium also very, very close remedy here. Eupatorium and Bryonia come very close. What is the difference of, why not Eupatorium? Tell me. Neela Prabha Telang writes Eupatorium. Why not Eupatorium in this case? Who can tell me? So you have to read Materia. You have to also know mind symptom. What is the main symptom of Eupatorium? The main symptom of Eupatorium is they want conversations. What do they want? Dekho, repertory. You can see very nicely. Have a look. You can see conversation ameliorate. Barabar? And in that, let's see if I get it in talking ameliorate. Okay, maybe here it's given. You can see talking ameliorate. That is the main symptom of Eupatorium perfoliatum. What does that mean? That means, Eupatorium perfoliatum, when they have a headache or when they have joint pain, they want someone next to them to talk to them. Arey, how are you? I'm okay. Acha, I am also okay. You're also okay. Acha, abhi dekho kya hota hai, what's happening, we don't know. And when they do that, they feel better. This is Eupatorium perfoliatum. This is how I differentiate Eupatorium and Bryonia. Bryonia very irritable, don't want to talk to you. Go. Eupatorium want to talk. So this is what you have to differentiate. Some more suggestions. Let's see. So, anyways, let's cut the story short. So, yes, the remedy, very beautiful remedy. I want to show you. This is a remedy. After this, I have used in many cases in shifting joint pains after COVID or after vaccination. And very beautiful remedy. Let's have a look. The name of the remedy is Stellaria media. Have a look. Stellaria media, and have a look at the symptoms. Rheumatism, shifting joint pains, always better by motion with soreness of the eyeball. Have a look at the exact symptomatology. And what I have seen in post-COVID and long COVID is that the typical Bryonia rustox may not help in all the cases. You may have to give a slightly different kind of remedy, which is a little lesser known remedy and more individual remedy to the patient. Let's read Eupatorium from Boric Materia Medica. Stellaria media, you can see chickweed. Let's see what's written in Boric. It induces a condition of stasis, congestion, sluggishness, morning aggravation. They're screaming in the morning. Sharp shifting rheumatic pains in all parts, very pronounced. Rheumatism, darting pain almost in every part. Stiffness of joints. You can see chronic rheumatic shifting pain. And very often, many cases, the psoriatic arthropathy gets aggravated. So Stellaria media is very important for post-COVID, post-vaccination psoriatic arthropathy, especially when the finger joints are also affected, you can see. So this is a little bit about Stellaria media. I want to also show you the rubrics. Have a look at the rubrics. You can see here, rheumatism, wandering, rheumatic acute, lumbar pain, better by motion, eyeball sore. So this is a little bit about Stellaria media. Janvi writes Phytolacca. Remember one word about Phytolacca, Janvi, and that is electric shock-like pains. In every case of Phytolacca, you will see one symptom. Remember, Janvi, patients will tell you that achanak shock marta hai. Suddenly my hand gets shocked. It's like a shock that goes. It's almost like some current I'm getting. If you see that, number one remedy, Phytolacca. Janvi, you can close your eyes and give Phytolacca. Remember, okay? Forget everything else. Just remember this. And the other thing is, Phytolacca is very shameless while talking, very rude, very offensive. That's the other thing you will see. But that's another story. So let's come back. I give Stellaria media 36 hourly for 3 days. And this remedy, very, very beautifully. Patient, in fact, said this was like a miracle. Everything disappeared. So that's a little bit about Stellaria media. Interesting, no? I don't know. Do I have a time to show one more case? Dr. Kavita, are you here? Do I have about 10 minutes more to show one more case?
Yes, Dr. Gaurang, please take your time, 10 more minutes. And then we will open for questions, please, because many has more questions.
I just want to know if I can show a longer case or shorter. That's why I asked you, because I don't want to exceed the time. That's all.
You're fine, please.
All right. All right. Let's go ahead. See, I'm basically, you know, a kind of a person who spent the last 11 to 15 years of my life, of my adult life, just with materia medica, with repertory, with organon, with different literatures and different homeopaths. So my heroes were all these people, you know, Dr. Sarkar, Dr. Sankaran, Dr. Ashok Mohanty, Dr. Milind Rao, Dr. Vijay Vaishnav, Dr. L.M. Khan, Dr. Subhash Singh, and many, many more, you know. Every region of India, I spent kind of months with different doctors trying to understand the intricacies of homeopathy. I often say this in Hindi, कि मैं हर घाट का पानी पीने की कोशिश किया हूँ. So that's what a little bit I know. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to show you one very interesting quick case. And that's one of the very interesting things that you will see, you know, that one of the commonest things that you are seeing in post-COVID also is a lot of cough. Children, small children, very bad cough. Adults, very bad cough, remains for a long time. It doesn't go. You're giving the Bryonia, Spongia, Hiparsal. It will not go, I'm telling you. What to do? What is the magic wand? So let's study one case, okay? I try to look at one case that I can show. All right, let's see. Here we go. So very common, you know, you will see this different kinds of coughs very often. So I'm showing you a case of 30-year-old women with very bad cough, okay? And because you all are here, I wanted you to listen to this cough, okay? Homeopaths, you know, one of my teachers would often tell me that if you have to take a history of a cough patient, then you're not a very good homeopath. A homeopath should develop the clinical eye to just by listening to the cough, you should develop a tuning of your ears in such a way, just by listening to it, you should say, "Acha, ye dawa hai, de do." So I'm going to make you listen to this cough, and I want all of you to participate and tell me what is this cough of this patient. Have a look at. She sent me an audio of the cough. Have a look. I'm going to make you listen to it again. Please have a look, and I want all of you to participate. What is this type of cough? Again. Let's see again. This is what I want you to develop. Clinical homeopathy. Homeopathy is not only about all these kind of theories and stories. It's about this. real classical homeopathy, this art which is actually dying. And this is what you, me, and all of us have to keep it alive and keep it pure. Clinical understanding. Listen again. Dekho. Chalo, let's first study the keys, and you all have to tell me the remedy, okay? Dry cough, okay, in paroxysms, typically aggravated in sleep at night, always feel better by lying down. Lot of throat pain, always aggravated by draft of cold air. Lot of throat pain, thirstless, very, very chilly, desire for warm. State of mind, lot of stress and insecurity about future, about money, about finance. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? There's a lot of fear and insecurity about this. She feels totally tied up. What will happen in the future? Financial stress. But her main thing is that her in-laws treated her very, very badly. And because the in-laws treated her very badly, she feels a lot of anger about it. She feels a lot of feeling of bitterness about it. That why did they treat me so badly? Why did they do this so badly to me? So there is a kind of deep bitterness that she keeps in her mind, in her heart. Why did she do this to me? Why did they do this to me? And she doesn't feel revengeful, but she feels a lot of bitterness and kind of, rancor feeling from inside. Coming back. So listen to the cough again. Okay, now you tell me what is this cough? Bolo. So what is this cough, ladies and gentlemen? This is what I want you to, you forget everything else. Forget all the webinars you do. The main thing I want you to learn, just one thing. Learn to convert patient language into rubrics, repertory, and materia medica. If you learn this, you forget all the other stories. Just learn this. What patient is saying, how to convert that into rubrics, how to convert that into materia medica. Arey, this is homeopathy. This is what you have to learn. This is the real thing. So how to see this? Let's see this type of cough. This is a deep cough. What is the first symptom? Have a look at this. Cough deep-seated. Can you see this? First symptom. Deep-seated means the cough is not from throat. It is very deep, deep-seated. Next, cough is more dry. And dry always better by, yes, lying down ameliorate. Dekho, isn't it? What else? What else you see? Yes, a lot of feeling of, so everyone treated her badly. Her feeling is a lot of bitterness inside. What is the symptom for that? The rubric is embittered feeling, like a bitter feeling from inside. And when you put this all together, ladies and gentlemen, we are studying a very interesting remedy which I use very often. The name of the remedy is Manganum aceticum. Dekho, Manganum aceticum. Normally, everyone has a cough, and I use this very often. Cough aggravated lying down. You can think about Drosera. You can think about Hyoscyamus. You can think about Spongia. Typically, first sleep aggravates. You can think about Aurelia racemosa. Many, many remedies. I can go for 100 remedies in one shot. I can explain you. But dry cough better by lying down. Lying down ameliorates. Remember, Manganum aceticum, and Dr. Sankaran, my mentor, very beautifully made you listen to all these kind of ragas, no? Isn't it? That is the main symptom of Manganum aceticum. Dekho, what is the main symptom of Manganum aceticum? They want to listen to sad music. So all these very, very sad music is typical symptom of Manganum. Pukar lo tumhara intezar hai. That kind of music is what Manganum wants to listen to. Very sad music. So Manganum also has this very beautiful symptom, and I'm going to make you read from their repertory. Have a look. Bitterness, single remedy. So look at this artistic repertorization that you want to learn actually. Another rubric you want to remember is rancor, a deep hatred. Again, Manganum. So very beautifully, Manganum helped the patient. What I want to tell you from here, and Manganum, Manganum 30 I gave. just for 1 dose every day for 5 days, and remarkably it improved. What I want to tell you with all of this, what's the main story for me to tell you about all this? Why am I talking about this? Is that the patterns are changing. You will have to individualize in every case, in post-COVID and in long COVID. I have tried to develop a map for COVID, which I will be sharing with Dr. Kavita, and she can share it with all the participants, which will be very useful for you. There will be a lot of use of nosodes and sarcodes. For example, I'm just giving an example. Sorinum, I found, is one of the main remedies. Sorinum 30, 1 dose, I found was one of the main remedies for post-COVID extreme negative anxiety. Okay, I wanted to show you cases of that, but I don't think I have enough time to show that. A lot of pessimism, a lot of despair. I found Sorinum as one of the main remedies, but there are many other remedies as well, many nosodes as well. So many nosodes and sarcodes would be useful in post-COVID. So this is a little bit about what I want to tell you. What's upcoming, what is special here. There is so much I want to show you. I don't know whether we have enough time. Unbelievable type of COVID cases we treated with beautiful results here in hospitals and things like that in the COVID times. Well, there are a few things I want to tell you. First of all, we have just launched an advanced course. Any one of you who want to join, who are part of the current KHA kind of group who are watching the webinar right now, you will get close to 25 to 30% discount. It's a 7-month weekend certificate course. Just write to us. I'll be giving you my email ID. And if you want, you can be part of us. We are also coming up with a course about introduction to sarcode and bowel nosode, which is also coming up very soon. I'll share these details with Dr. Kavita. You can join us. And all my books, I've written about 3 books, and all my books would be at a discounted rate, almost close to 30% discount for anyone who wants to buy the book. You can see here all the 3 books: Decoding Mental Rubric, Nosode and Sarcode, and Art of Repertorization. So in the next 3 days, anyone who wants to do books or courses in the next 3 days gets a massive discount. You have to email here, gaurang@gmail.com, or anywhere. If I can help you, write an email to me. That's my kind of a short talk for today, and I hope that it was interesting for you. I can take up some questions if there are, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gaurang. And let us take Dr. Sweta. Would you like to take any questions, please?
We have some questions from the viewers.
Sure. Go ahead, ma'am.
So indication for anti-Mars.
Okay, it's a rapid fire or what?
Yeah, it's a kind of.
No, anti-Mars, you will see a lot of, this is a remedy I use very often. Generally, you want to use it in 1M potency. This is a remedy much better used in 1M potency than any other potency. You would see symptoms of antimony and arsenicosm. You will see the anxiety and restlessness of arsenicosm, and you will see the wheezing and rattling and the dullness of antimony. A lot of wheezing and the chest aggravated by sitting, aggravated by lying down, better by sitting, always aggravated after eating. So this is the symptomatology you want to see. One keynote I'll give you, there's a lot of coating, white coating of the tongue, and a lot of thirst. This is what you want to see.
Any more questions? Please write in the chat box. There's one more question about alloxan in diabetes mellitus.
Okay. So alloxan is actually a remedy. Probably in the entire country, only 2 or 3 homeopaths actually use it. It's a remedy actually popularized by Dr. Sarkar. Alloxan, it has been found out that it's a remedy which comes very close to natramure. And that's why when you see a lot of natramure like grief symptoms with craving for salt and aversion to company, that's an important indication for alloxan. You want to read about it from Stephenson's provings.
Okay, thank you. One more question. Can we give cortisone Sacco to the patient who already has taken a lot of steroids?
Especially when the symptoms of steroids, like the weakness, the buffalo hump, the swelling, the lethargy, the mind cloudiness, all these symptoms when remain, it's worth giving cortisone for some time. Yes, Dr. Manisha, yes. I hope it is not post-vacation weakness.
It's post-vaccination, I guess.
Okay, because if it's
post-vaccination weakness and numbness for insulin depending patients.
Yeah, you would want to still individualize a case if that remains a corner stone of homeopathy. Post-vaccination, there is an entire map that we have formulated where different areas of vaccination affecting different areas. For example, convulsions after vaccination, the remedy is silica. A lot of eczema after vaccination, the remedy is mesarium. Infections after vaccination, the remedy is gunpowder. So there are many kind of different remedies to this. You would want to individualize the case, but it is worthwhile studying a nosode here actually.
Can we give constitutional remedies in brain tumors after COVID surgeries?
Absolutely. You have to give the indicated remedy for the patient at that moment.
Potency of gunpowder to be used?
Read 6 potency, and you want to read a gunpowder from Clark to get a very good idea, Mamta.
Any remedies for hypertension post-COVID?
I made an entire chart on it, no? Post-COVID hypertension. You would want to still analyze the case. Very often aurum salts may come up, baryta salts may come up, carbons may come up. You might see remedies like strophanthus. You might see remedies like scoparius. But generally stress, a lot of stress causing hypertension, think about Rovolfia.
There's one question from Dr. Vatsala. Is alloxan a remedy?
Yes, it's a remedy.
And one more question. If the patient created fear of poverty, needs money post-COVID and dermatitis on legs, what would be the remedy, I guess? This is the question.
Unfortunately, I'm not into this kind of thing. You want to individualize the case. Fear of poverty, maybe everywhere the situation is like that. People don't have money. So you want to individualize. You want to look at what is more individual to the case and not very circumstantial, isn't it?
Okay. One question from Dr. Mamata. When actually to give insulin as said in boric and which was potency?
Generally, I give insulinum, I give in 30 potency, and I generally give it for a longer time. You want to give 1 dose every day actually to remove the layer of it. Read about it from one book I've written called as Materia Medica Nosode Sarkut. It will give a very good idea. Or else read it from S.C. Ghosh, Rare Nosodes and Sarkuts. Very beautiful.
You go. Sorry, Dr. Sweta, since Dr. Gaurang was telling, and I thought I have the book handy. So it's a beautiful book, and I really recommend. And Dr. Vatsala did the interview, which we have posted. So thank you so much. And I will show the other books, Dr. Gaurang. Thank you so much. Decoding Mental Rubrics. Each book is such a precious. I got this as gifts, but it will take for me time to read. So much knowledge. It's amazing, huge, hundreds and hundreds of pages. So we recommend them to have.
Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Vatsala for writing a review. I'm grateful.
So any experience of using fluorescent?
Floridzin, boric apple bark remedy. No, I haven't used that remedy so far.
Can we add a lower potency of sarcode with constitutional remedy?
You want to give one remedy at one point, but sometime you can give a sarcode for some time and then follow it with a deeper constitutional remedy.
And which remedy, which book shall we read for a miasmatic understanding?
There is not a clear one book for this, unfortunately, Janvi. There are many books though, not one. I cannot tell you one complete book. There is not one complete book for any topic in homeopathy, by far. I've tried to write one, Art of Reparation, but still I don't feel it's a complete book. But about miasm, there are many, many books. One of the very beautiful book is called as Ortega Notes on Miasm. Very beautiful book. You want to read all the literatures like the chronic diseases by Allen. You want to read it by Master Hahnemann, Chronic Diseases. There is a very beautiful book called as Phyllis Spite on miasm. Very beautiful table that they have prepared. So there are some many beautiful literatures that you want to read actually.
Phyllis Spite is very good book. I have it, Dr. Gaurang. It's very nice. It's a small book on
Very
miasm.
beautiful. I like
That's all about the questions, Dr. Gaurang, and it was really very informative for me. Thank you so much. I hope everybody liked it and thoroughly enjoyed your presentation. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Kavita.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sweta and Dr. Gaurang. It was a wonderful presentation on this one. And we will bring you back. I know it is short time, but we have more to learn from you. We enjoyed thoroughly the cases, your analysis, and we would like to take privilege to honor your gracious presence and for your precious time and sharing your knowledge and wisdom with our caste certificate. So please kindly accept. And Dr. Sweta, would you like to share, please? Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we will bring you back again. And just we will announce upcoming event. On April 10th, we have Dr. Ajit Kulkarni with an interesting topic, Case to Concept. The case is the best teacher. And there are many more renowned homeopaths lined up for our KHA webinars. Today, we have many KHA volunteers and we have over 400 registered for this webinar. Many are watching on Facebook. Thank you all. And we'd like to thank our KHA volunteers, Dr. Shrija, KHA coordinator, Dr. Mamata, Dr. Muhammad, Dr. Padmati. I'm naming few because we have 25 people. Dr. Yashika, Dr. Sweta Verma, and Dr. Pooja. Her birthday is today, and we are wishing her a very happy birthday. And thank you all for joining on Facebook Live and our entire team for the selfless support. And Dr. Sweta and Dr. Gaurang, would you like to say anything before we end?
Nothing. I just like your energy also, Doctor. You're doing such good work and I'm grateful you invited me. And I hope that people who watched today's talk and you found it interesting or you have some questions, please write to me. You have my email ID, and any one of you who want to register for the book or courses in the next 3 days, there is a 30% discount. So take advantage of that. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone please. And if you have any questions, we will also communicate with Dr. Gaurang and join the courses. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Dr. Gaurang, and all the participants. And thank you, Dr. Vatsala, for joining us and everyone. So we will end this one. Dr. Sweta, shall we end the webinar, please?
Sure, ma'am. I thank our speakers of the day, Dr. Rajan Sankaran and Dr. Gaurang, for joining us today. Thanks to all the viewers for joining us. And to access the recording of this webinar, subscribe our YouTube channel with the name Kavita Kukunur. If you have any query related to any webinar or anything, you may reach us at kstudygroup@gmail.com. And for future updates, you can regarding our webinars, you can follow our social media pages with the name KHA Study Group at Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay connected with us. See you soon. Thank you.